Hey everybody, welcome to the first review of the channel. Hell yeah. I mean, no, ignore that one. That one doesn't count. No. Just completely ignore it. You don't want to know what it is. It's fine. We've moved on. So today we're going to be reviewing a game called My Time at Portia. This is a game that's been developed by Portia Games and published by Team 17. That's right, the same folk who made Worms, Overcooked, Ukulele, and The Escapists. So yeah, feel free to check it out, folks, and enjoy. From the developers of Planet Explorers, the MMO survival game based on surviving on an alien planet, comes My Time at Portia. Portia Games has taken inspiration from several games like Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley, and Harvest Moon. The game allows the player to do whatever they please, be it crafting various items or buildings, to becoming a monster hunter and attempting to slay any monster you come across. Not only can you slay monsters, but you can also challenge almost anyone in town to a duel for money. Now you can simulate beating up little Timmy for his pocket money, but this time you don't get in trouble. That's right guys, we got some ass kicking to do. Come here Sam, I'm gonna lay you the fuck out. Maybe not. Crafting and fighting not your taste? Well, how about trying to get into someone's pants? Yes, that's right, just like in Fable or Stardew Valley, you can build relationships with folks and get married. Although I never got to the point where I could start a relationship, the team allowed for what could be controversial in a Trump-controlled America. That's right, you can have male-to-male or female-to-female relationships. Take that, Trump, you daughter fancying pussy grabber. My Time at Portia is a happy, relaxing game with quite a dark backstory. From the offset, we are thrown into a world of cheery characters and fluffy llamas. Only by talking to people around the town will you realise that this world is actually a post-apocalyptic land with relics of the past human civilization underfoot. We are literally walking around on a mass grave with smiles on our faces. Think it can't get any darker than that? Well, it can. A prime example is what is called a panbat. Looks like a panda and a bat had some sort of love child, but its main weapon of choice is, of course, a hypodermic syringe. Although the game style screams, "This is for children," I would say yes it is, but there's things in there that aren't. It's like The Simpsons, for example. Although The Simpsons don't have dark undertones, which sometimes they do, it does have jokes that are meant to pass over younger viewers' heads. And with My Time at Portia, I feel like a lot of the backstory would not sink in for children playing this game. As you progress, you are asked to build a bridge, which would require you to build a few workbench-like items that require parts from an old civilization. You have the option here to listen to two groups, factions if you like. The first is the religious zealots that are determined to have previous technology destroyed, as it was what destroyed the previous civilization. And you have scientists who think that you should use the tech to make the world easier to live in. I say you're given the option, but it's really a no-brainer from the fact that getting the old tech can give you new buildings, whereas destroying the old tech doesn't seem to have any benefit at all, or at least not from where I can see it as of yet. The art style and the gameplay reminds me a lot of Yonder the Cloudcatcher Chronicles, which I quite like. It's not graphically intense, so shouldn't require a fancy graphics card and is therefore suitable for many folks to just download and play. I find a lot of new games are attempting to make their game look as pretty as you possibly can, thinking that it's the most important part, then neglecting gameplay completely. However, this is not the case. This game is a special breed. Even if the game had terrible graphics, I believe it could still be fun to play. The development team obviously concentrated on what makes a game enjoyable rather than focusing on being pretty, and because of that I found it very difficult to just stop playing it. I wanted to continue to build or continue different projects I'd previously started. As you start off in the game, you're basically given a workshop and told to build some things. Most of it requires simple ingredients, however you are then given a build project that for a normal game for children would hold your hand and walk you through each and every step. However, Portia gives the player the task of building a bridge. To do this, you need 3 specific crafting sources: a furnace, a grinder and a cutter. These builds all require specific items that need to be hunted down, and through the 3.5-hour play of the game, I was only just able to get this completed. The parts of the bridge, however, will take a little bit longer, and so I expect this game will have a long playtime for any player. As I played, I came across a few small errors, like the yes/no button still being in Chinese. However, it is still the beta I've been playing, and so I would expect these to be corrected prior to the full release. I found that jumping felt a little funny and couldn't quite put my finger on what it was. It's likely too high a gravity that pulls the player down too quick, or the fact that you can't jump out the bounds, but can jump a meter to the left. I find approaching water has been a bit unusual as well. I would rather they implemented something like what Yonder had, where the player tries to cross the water but doesn't have enough oxygen to make it over, rather than insta teleporting you back to the shore as soon as your pinky toe gets a little wet. Another annoyance in the game is the fact that everything you do requires stamina, except what you would expect: running. You can take on monsters in the game and use your boxing gloves to rain some pity on some fools, but if you run out of stamina you can run around them, but you're not allowed to punch. I found myself at one point in a fight with multiple monsters as the day was getting on, and ran out of stamina, which meant all I could do is run. I couldn't afford items that would replenish stamina, as that cost a shit ton as well, in comparison to what they would actually receive. For example, a piece of bread that costs 67 golds and replenishes 12 stamina. To put that into perspective, possibly break 2 rocks or maybe chop down 2 trees, roughly giving you about 10 of the given material. Each material sold is 1 gold each. It really isn't worth it. Overall, I have high hopes for this game, and I'm drawn to return to playing it even whilst making this review. From the title screen it shows there's going to be a lot of content yet to explore, or they're just clickbaiting to the max. As you see here, an image that shows a plane, but it does look as though you can do a lot of exploring with it, which is a bonus as you can only run for a short period of time. There's many new areas that will be able to be explored, and although there were a few little things that were a bit off, like spelling of languages, etc., I was assured that these are likely going to be fixed for a future release. If you're interested in this game, then make sure to check it out on Steam. Formal release date is the 23rd of January 2018, and it will be in early access. Overall, with the small annoyances, I would give this game 6 monkeys out of 10. If the annoyances are fixed, I would probably up it to another monkey to 7 out of 10. I would recommend this game if you enjoy things like Stardew Valley, etc. However, if you're a COD fanboy and you don't like anything that doesn't have guns, then I wouldn't recommend it for you, and I would also suggest that you expand your opinions of games and get out of your mum's basement. Thanks everyone, see you all next time.